Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's Reading the Red. This Monday morning, this rainy Monday morning. Why does it always rain on Monday? Mark chapter 3 and verse 29. But whoever blasphemes against the Holy Spirit never has forgiveness, but is guilty of an eternal sin. Whoever blasphemes against the Holy Spirit. So Jesus is now saying any sin can be forgiven, but, and the word but is a big but here because it means you can never be forgiven. When you go into death, you're going into eternity because death is the place of eternity. It's the spiritual reality of disembodied spirits. And when you're in death, you'll never be forgiven if you sin against the Holy Spirit, is what Jesus is saying. Anyone that blasphemes. And what was the blasphemy that these Jews were putting out there? Well, they were saying that Jesus was working the works of God under the unction and the power of the devil. So they were accrediting the work of God as a work from the devil. They were saying he's doing these things by the power of the devil, when in fact he was doing these things in the power of the Holy Spirit. And so to insult the Holy Spirit by accrediting what he does as a work of the devil is the unforgivable sin. It's the dangerous sin. It's a sin that can never be forgiven, not in this life, and not in death and beyond into eternity. It can never be forgiven. And so we need to make sure that when we start making judgments about what God is doing in a church or in a situation, and we say, oh, that's the work of the devil, we need to be mindful of the fact that we are, as it were, walking a tightrope of dangerous ground. We are stepping into a territory that is very factious as it relates to the pressure and the problems of an eternal judgment. We need to make sure that we don't accredit the work of God as a work from the devil, lest we find ourselves as those who go into death unforgiven and never being able to be forgiven. But the great thing about this is Jesus is saying in death there is an existence. In death there is an eternity, and that eternity, forgiveness and unforgiveness, it really matters. So the blessing of eternity as a forgiven person is one thing, and the curse of an unforgiven person is another. So there's all kinds of conundrums and dynamics that raise their head in this perspective. But we finish today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining me. God bless you.